3D AI just went next level. These 5 free tools can turn a single photo into a Hollywood-ready 3D face, build entire worlds from text, reconstruct objects from just one image, edit models part by part, and even upscale them into cinematic masterpieces. You're watching What's Next AI? Let's dive in. First up, we've got a powerful new AI from Microsoft that's making serious waves in 3D modeling. It's called David, short for this, and it can predict incredibly accurate 3D information from just a single image of a person. David works by taking a human image and predicting 3 key things at once. It figures out the depth information, basically how far each part of the person is from the camera. It estimates the surface normals, which describe the orientation of every tiny surface on the body. And it handles segmentation too, cleanly separating the person from the background with incredible precision. The results are impressive. It's accurate enough to pick up on fine details like individual hair strands, something that would take far more effort to achieve in Photoshop. And while David works perfectly on still images, it also handles full videos seamlessly, since videos are just sequences of images. You can see the original video on the left and the segmented human on the right, and the separation is almost flawless. Even in more challenging cases, like extra objects such as VR headsets in the first video, or moving subjects captured with shaky cameras in the second, David still segments humans with incredible accuracy. And it doesn't stop there. Look at these examples. David also estimates depth maps and surface normals for videos, capturing subtle facial contours, the direction and angle of the human surface, and even the tiny wrinkles with remarkable precision. And the best part is that Microsoft has released everything: the dataset, the source code, and even instructions so you can run it locally. I've linked it in the description if you want to try it yourself. This next one is pretty amazing. Tencent has just released HunyuanWorld-Voyager, and it can create an entire 3D world from just a single reference image or text. Here's an example in action. You can even specify the camera path to control exactly how you move across the scene, which makes the experience feel highly dynamic. Voyager doesn't just simulate a 3D environment, it actually reconstructs a consistent 3D point cloud from your input image. You can see it happening in the lower left corner of the demo, where it maps out a full 3D point cloud in real time. This approach makes the generated worlds far more accurate and consistent as you move through them. Like other 3D world generators, you can also customize the style of your scenes. You can switch a sunny street into a snowy environment, or change the lighting from day to night instantly. But Voyager goes beyond simple style changes. It doesn't just generate an RGB video, it also produces a full depth map alongside it. That depth estimation is a game changer. Because it jointly generates RGB and depth information, it allows Voyager to reconstruct true 3D environments instead of faking perspective. This leads to scenes that are not only visually stunning, but also structurally consistent. In side-by-side comparisons with other generators, Voyager clearly outperforms them. If you look closely, the details from the original reference image, like paintings, tables, wall textures, even tiny objects like shower heads and towels, all remain perfectly aligned as you move through the scene. Competitors often lose these details, especially in regions highlighted in red during benchmarks, but Voyager keeps them locked in place. And the benchmarks back this up. On tests like novel view synthesis, camera control, object stability, content alignment, and overall 3D consistency, Voyager consistently scores at the top across the board. And if you want to run Voyager locally, there's a full GitHub repo with everything you need. But be prepared, it currently requires a high-end GPU. I've included the link in the description if you want to try it yourself. You may also notice there's an online demo you can try. It's powered by HunyuanWorld 1.0, the base model behind Voyager. While it offers less control over camera paths compared to Voyager, you can still create full 3D worlds from just an image or a text prompt. Since there isn't an English version available yet, once you reach the login page, just use the Google Translate option in the top bar to switch to English. The translation isn't perfect, but it's good enough to navigate. After logging in, you can try creating a 3D world using either 360-degree panorama or 3D scene generation. Here are two examples I tested myself earlier. For the first one, I tried the 360-degree panorama and used a realistic ocean sunset image. Wow! It built the world in just a minute, perfectly handling the reflections on the water, the detailed textures of the waves, and the rocky cliffs as the camera moves through the scene. For the second one, I entered a text prompt to generate a fantasy spiral bridge scene with misty mountains and bright flowers. This is so cool. It constructs highly imaginative environments like this, with glowing sunlight, layered mountains, and a dreamlike spiral bridge that makes the whole scene feel straight out of a cinematic animation. I'll leave the link to this free online demo in the description so you can try it out yourself. Next up, this AI is incredibly powerful. It's called ReconViaGen, and it can generate highly accurate 3D models from just a few images of an object taken at different angles. For example, you can upload multiple photos of a figure shot from the front, sides, and back, and ReconViaGen will generate a detailed 3D model that matches the original perfectly. Even for complex character designs, the results are surprisingly precise. The advantage of providing several views is that the AI can capture every single detail of the object. Other 3D model generators that only accept a single image often have to guess what the hidden parts look like, which can lead to errors. ReconViaGen avoids that by reconstructing the object correctly from all angles. It doesn't stop at still images. You can also upload a video. Since a video is just a series of image frames, the AI uses those to rebuild a 3D model. And even if the footage is a little shaky or has multiple objects in the scene, it still manages to reconstruct everything accurately, including small items and surface textures. There's even an example where ReconViaGen recreates an entire tabletop scene from a video, capturing every single object, chair, and plant perfectly. Another interesting use case is creating 3D characters from videos generated by other AI tools. For instance, if you've used a video generator to make a cool animated character, you can run the footage through ReconViaGen and instantly get a fully built 3D model of that character. The results hold up even on highly detailed designs. It handles tiny shapes, layered textures, and complex surfaces without breaking a sweat. Now let's test it ourselves using the free online demo in Hugging Face. Here, you can upload either a video or images. For the first test, I'll upload 3 images of 2 realistic plush toys and leave all other settings at their default. Then I hit Generate. And here's what we get. This really cool. It doesn't just recreate the overall shape of the 3D objects, it also accurately generates the surface details. For the second test, I'll upload a video of an anime figure with a dynamic pose and flowing hair. It accurately preserves the full body proportions and smooth curves, capturing the hair strands, costume textures, and sculpting details well. However, the 3D model is slightly blurry, and the face doesn't perfectly match the original figure. The online demo is free. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to try it yourself. And for anyone who wants to dive deeper, there's also a GitHub repo available, and the team has announced they'll be releasing the full model soon, so stay tuned for updates. Now let's look at OmniPart, a powerful AI that generates 3D objects with separate meaningful parts you can edit and control individually. Most AI tools that create 3D models today produce just a single solid mesh, meaning you can't edit individual components. OmniPart solves this by letting you split a model into logical segments, giving you full control over each part. Here's how it works. You start by uploading an image, for example, of a robot. It first analyzes the image and automatically plans out how to segment it, drawing outlines or bounding boxes around each part: the head, eyes, legs, antennas, and so on. You can also guide this process manually to decide exactly how the segmentation should be done. Once the layout is set, OmniPart generates a detailed 3D shape for each part separately. Then we can drag the Explode slider to see all its components pulled apart, which makes the structure incredibly clear. For another example, imagine uploading an image of a minifigure. OmniPart first predicts the segmentation outlines, then builds a fully detailed 3D model, complete with separated horns, beard, helmet, armor, and weapon. And when you hit the Explode slider, each piece comes apart seamlessly. It also supports mask-guided segmentation, which gives you even more control. You can upload a mask image to define exactly how the object should be divided. For instance, you can choose a rough segmentation with only a few big parts, or a highly detailed segmentation where even the smallest sections, like antennas, eyes, or individual mechanical joints, are separated. OmniPart follows your instructions exactly, which makes it ideal for complex customization workflows. Now let's test it ourselves using its free Hugging Face demo. Here's where you upload an image to start. Let's try one as an example. I'll click Segment Image, and the tool instantly breaks the model into multiple parts. From there, you can choose to merge specific segments together. For instance, it automatically detects that segments 1 and 7 should be combined, which makes sense since they form a wheel. I'll accept the suggestion and hit Apply Merge. Now notice how the model goes from having lots of tiny separate segments to a much cleaner structure where related parts are logically grouped together. Next, I'll click Generate 3D Model, and here's the result. This is the full 3D model with the combined parts, and here you can also see each individual segment separated out. It even generates a 3D Gaussian view of the model, giving you another way to visualize the structure. Plus, you can download any of these models directly by clicking the download button. There's even an option to clone the Hugging Face space if you want to run it locally. I've included the demo and GitHub links in the description so you can try it yourself. Finally, we have a 3D model upscaler called Elevate 3D, and it's designed to enhance the quality of 3D models by refining both their textures and geometry. Here's an example. Imagine you have a low-quality 3D model of an eagle. Rough edges, blurry textures, missing details. Run it through Elevate 3D, and the model comes out sharper, cleaner, and far more detailed. In another example, the original model looks unclear, but after upscaling, you can actually make out the scales and facial features perfectly. There's also a great demo with a clock where the text are almost invisible in the original model, but Elevate 3D sharpens it to the point where you can clearly read the text. It doesn't just clean up blurry surfaces, it adds fine details that weren't obvious before, making your models look far more realistic and polished. Elevate 3D works by separating your 3D model into geometry and texture, refining each one individually, and then combining them back together to produce a high-quality result. And the best part is, there's a GitHub repo available with full instructions if you want to run it locally. I've included the link in the description so you can check it out. So, there you have it. 5 free AI tools that are reshaping the way we create, edit, and enhance 3D models. Whether you're building worlds, reconstructing objects, segmenting parts, or upscaling details, these tools open up a whole new set of possibilities for 3D creation. If you found this video useful, give it a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next big AI breakthrough. This is What's Next AI. See you in the next one.